Okay.
Hello, everybody. This is Preston Poulter here with Pocket Jacks Comics, and joining me is introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Bill Raup. I'm the creator and writer of Tribulation Taskforce.
Okay, and you called your company Grok Comics
Yeah, my
or
studio
imprint.
is
Okay.
is Grok Comics, and our comics are published through Starcross Comics.
Okay, hold on. My phone. Who's? I don't like it when people call me. Okay. All right. Sorry. Hold on. All right. So, Grok. Now that is a reference to Stranger in a Strange Land. I take it.
It is. It
Okay.
means to understand
To
with
understand.
empathy and intuition.
Yes, great. Yep. Yeah. See, we already picked out that was a Heinlein reference. So, got to get up pretty early in the morning to sneak a Stranger in a Strange Land reference by my crew. So, why did you choose that?
It's actually one of my favorite books.
Okay.
That and Catcher in the Rye, which makes me sound a little crazy, but I thought the book was just phenomenal, and I like the concept of Grok.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's see. So, why are people trying to get in touch with me right as I go? Go away, people. All right. So let's see. All right. So tell me about Tribulation Task Force.
All right. Well, there's been a lot of confusion. A lot of people are pegging it as like a Christian book that's preachy and is farthest from the truth. The book.
All right. Well, wait. Hold on. Stop. Why? Uh, what? Where do they get that impression? Do you think?
Well, Tribulation Force is actually a Christian book in the Left Behind series of books, and the framework of the book is based on the Book of Revelation in the Bible.
Okay.
Someone very cleverly compared it to The Omen and what was that movie where the girl gets possessed and they're exorcising her?
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist. Okay. It's set in that framework of
Jake is rocking what you're laying down by.
Hey, thanks, Jake. It's set in that framework with a Christian worldview, but it's a superhero book.
Okay, so I mean that sounds like a Christian book.
Yeah, it has a Christian framework. That's the backdrop of the book, but all in all, it's a superhero comic.
Okay.
And the premise is there's going to be this world leader who's going to be known as the Antichrist, and
this sounds like a Christian book.
and he's trying to come to power before his appointed time. So he puts together a team of supervillains that work for the United Nations, and the world sees them as heroes, but they're actually villains. And the real heroes in the book, the Tribulation Task Force, are kind of seen as villains.
Okay.
And their job is they put a whole bunch of heroes together and they're trying to stop this guy from taking power.
All right. So Mecca McCheese, he's in my writers group on occasion on Wednesdays. Now, Mecca, are you comparing this to Creed, the movie, the Sylvester Stallone kind of spinoff from the Rocky series? I'm not sure what it means with arms wide open. You're going to have to give me a little more specifics there, Mecca. But all right. So where does the Tribulation Task Force get their superpowers from?
Mostly technology, and there's like 2 or 3 creators in the group who most of their stuff is from technology, things like that. There are a couple that have superpowers, but most of them are not superpowered.
Okay. So there's a group which has... Hold on. He definitely means the greatest rock band of all. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, Creed.
Okay, yeah, Creed.
The Christian band that isn't Christian.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, I got to be more hip to my Christian lingo. All right, so there's some heavy Christian influences. Certainly.
There definitely is.
Okay. Is there a lot of praising God and all that good jazz?
It's not actually not preachy. It's a straightforward superhero book.
Okay. All right. So
I don't want Comicsgate to crucify me for having any kind of themes in it.
If you didn't want Comicsgate to crucify, you're on the wrong show.
Yeah. They're going to come after me either way, I'm sure.
Have you been seeing the stuff I've been posting to Twitter?
the drama is just insurmountable.
The things they do to comic creator in order to get the war campaign endorsement is just crazy.
Oh man, but it works. Some of the totals on some of these books are just staggering, and some of them aren't that good.
Yeah, I mean, well, some of the other ones though are not. Like, all right, if you look at like Grayscale, I tend to like to point to Grayscale, and like he went and he did the humiliating things for war campaign, and he got like $300 or something. I mean, not total, but like after his appearance, it went up to $300. But and then recently there was some. I remember like a couple of weeks ago when Came in America just came out, and I was like, I put out that poll. I don't know if you saw it, but I put out a poll, and I invited Comicsgate, and I'm like, all right, let's have a vote see here. Who's gonna make more money? Came in America or Winger's, super harem, second cover relaunch? And I just put up a poll, right? I mean, to me, it's a simple poll. Of course, Comicsgate always has to go like, it's unfair. You're comparing a seasoned creator, because actually, Tim Lin is not, that much more experienced than Winger. They've been doing it the same amount of time. Just Tim Lin's just done a lot more. But, Comicsgate came out with all their voting power, and they voted it so that Super Harem. But meanwhile, like, Came in America is like over 10 grand, and Super Harem is closing in on 2. Like, you guys have some problems with reality sometimes. But Comicsgate's gonna come after you for coming on the show.
I'm just stunned by the nonsense. I mean, I've called them out, many times. Just nonsense. Like, I have a life, like, in the real world, and like real things to worry about, like bills and health. I don't have time to worry about who said what and what Edwin said to such and such. I mean, it blows my mind.
All right,
this is comic books, people.
Okay, I'm ready.
Comic books.
All right, but you are gonna have to sing for yourself for a little bit. It's elevator pitch time. Give it to me. What do you got? Oh man. Okay.
Tribulation Task Force. First issue is coming out in June. Right now we have Tribulation Task Force Parables, which is on Indiegogo.
Boy, that sounds really Christian. All right.
It does.
If you're trying to avoid that tag,
I'm not trying to avoid it so much as I'm trying to say that it's not going to preach to you and hit you over the head with Christianity. All right, so it's introducing Thief in the Night, who is our Batman type character. He's an MMA fighter who endures some personal struggles, and it's about him.
Oh, wait. Did Micah accuse you?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
you stole the idea from Micah Curtis.
Yes, he's so brilliant. I had to steal the idea from him.
Yeah, and exactly as DeWolf put it, it was fair in that I compared Tim Lin, a guy who delivers, to a guy who doesn't.
I mean, it was this whole thing. I had to go on my Facebook and dig up when I first put out a sketch of the character, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it's not a profound idea to have an MMA character who becomes a superhero. I mean, it's not,
And then Renfamous threw you two together as both being comic skaters fighting over a garbage chicken nugget, if I recall correctly. But you missed that part?
I missed that one.
Oh, you got to watch last week in Comicsgate. I actually showed that. So yeah, Renfamous retweeted Micah Curtis, who was retweeting you. And Micah was saying, he stole my idea of a superpowered MMA fighter, who's down on his luck, whatever. And then, Renfamous is like, it's so much fun watching Comicsgate fight over stupid ideas. It's like watching two possums fight over a garbage chicken nugget. But
and I don't know what do you do? You have someone calling you out and saying you stole my idea. I'm like, do I ignore the jerk, or do I what do you do in that situation?
Right. So when did you steal the idea from Englewood?
I actually didn't. But and mine predated his.
Okay.
So it shut him up.
You shut up Micah Curtis. He didn't say that anymore.
We both agreed to squash it.
Okay.
Apparently.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tug, the elder statesman, might have stepped in behind the scenes and said, Micah, this is stop. But, all right, so but yours is about a team. So the MMA fighter is just one member, right?
Yeah. This book, we actually have the 3 books that I'm rotating. There's the Tribulation Task Force, and that has a 0 issue that's out. Then there's a Secret Files book that has mini stories and like journal entries and stuff about the characters. And the third book is Parables, which is like individual tales of the members. So Parables is what's on Indiegogo right now, and it spotlights Thief in the Night. It's his origin story.
Okay. So all right. So each member of the team gets their own comic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just self-contained stories, talking about a single member of the team.
Sure. Yeah, and then you're going to combine them all later.
Right.
Okay. So right now, all right. So how many comics have you put out then? Is this number 3 or number 4?
This is we have Tribulation Taskforce number 0, which was out. Secret Files number 1. There's a pinup book, and there's a mini comic for the supervillains that was a exclusive to our last Indiegogo campaign.
So, I guess what I'm saying is this like issue 1 or issue?
This is issue 1.
Issue 1. Okay, so everything before this has been kind of marketing preamble kind of stuff. Okay,
yep.
Fair enough. All right, and it's up on Indiegogo right now.
It is.
Yeah. Why don't you pull up a browser window with the campaign, and I'll share it with the audience here. You can take us through it.
Okay.
So just open up a new tab.
Where are you? There we go. Can you see that?
Let's see. Well, you got to click share screen. So there's some little icons there at the bottom. And then when you click share screen,
I got to be smarter than the
there you go. Yeah,
browser.
You got to click share screen and then pick the tab you wish to share.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. So we have now shared the screen. All right, so now we're looking at Tribulation Taskforce, currently at $13.97 of 500. So you already made your goal, right?
I did.
Okay.
The real goal is 100,000. So we're a little off.
Yeah, you're way off on that.
Yeah.
All right. So are you the artist?
I am the writer.
Okay.
The artist is this is a guy named Mike Emshin who did.
Oh,
this
by the way, apparently, DeWolf, did you read this one? Because it sounds like you have someone who has already read some of your earlier forerunners here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I better not go back there. Yeah, and this cover is done by a guy named Olin Orig.
Okay.
And this is some artwork from the book.
Okay.
And then there's a backup story. It's a flip book. So the flip side is these guys. And these are the Silent Knights.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's basically it. This is just a 6-page story. And the main story is of course, Thief in the Night. So
how many pages is the book?
24.
24. All right, great. And so for $15, you get a book and a print?
We have some digital levels here. $5, you get the book.
And now we're just trolling Micah.
And for $10, you get the book, PDF, and a POG set.
Well, that's cool. All right, so I mean, all right, wait, hold up. All right, so for $10, you get a comic book, PDF,
yep,
and a POG set.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, now that's not shipping included though, right?
No, but shipping. I'm doing this COVID-19 package. So for $25, you get Parables #1, our 3rd card set, 2 stickers, and a digital bundle from Starcross Comics.
Okay.
For $25, and shipping is free in the United States.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So all right. Well, we do have a question. I mean, I gotta say, if you're on my channel, you're probably not, but the audience wishes to know. Have you self-identified as Comicsgate?
I did at one point, and then there was so much drama. I'm just a guy selling comics now, and I will sell them to Comicsgate, War Campaign, Social Justice Warriors. Whoever wants to buy the thing, I'm selling it to them.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. This is I'm putting together some videos right now. There's so much material. I mean, that's what I've been posting to Twitter is all my stuff, and I was actually hanging out in the War Campaign Discord server yesterday as myself.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
Which that was pretty crazy. And anyone says like they don't control War Campaign, that is absolute crock of shit. I entered the Discord server, and first they thought it was somebody, like impersonating me, and they're like, oh ha ha, look at that, somebody's impersonating Pocket Pussy, and I was commenting, yeah, cute. And then somebody else is like, no, dude, that's Preston. and then
how did they react to that?
Well, and then someone's like, what the fuck is he doing here? And then somebody else goes, Ro invited him. And then everyone just got, hail, Preston, how are you doing? And I'm like, and I just said, I ain't hailing shit. I think you guys are a bunch of losers, but I'm here.
I mean, I can't get past this hail thing.
Yeah, they were like hail, but because Ro came in and did the hail pocket. I'm like, I ain't hailing shit, bitches. But but I was, and like we had like like a fairly reasonable, like everyone was respectful. No one stepped out of line. There was like we were just they did question and answer, like, what do you think about? And I'm like, I think about this, and they're like, hey, do you want to come into our voice chat? I'm like, I don't even do that with people I like. But then, but eventually they kicked me out, and then of course after they kicked me out, then it was like other people who were spying in the Discord, sent me like screen captures of just like all these horrible things that they said about me. But the idea that they can't be controlled, no, they can absolutely be controlled. They're like, Ro invited him. Oh, okay. Hey, how are you?
It's just too bad because there are some really nice people in all of the, I don't know, factions, whatever you call them, some great people. But I mean, I just can't deal with the drama because it's so cringe.
Yeah.
Like, let's just talk about comic books. Make comic books. Like, the world has enough shit going on without having to add manufactured drama.
Oh, by the way, you have a better comic book than Micah Curtis. So
well, thank you.
Because there is something in Inglewood. That's right. So
I don't even know what his book was. I've never even seen it. So,
but while I was there, because I got off on that tangent because you said like like anybody can buy my books, but I did not drop any links there in terms of, hey, back my book or anything, because I didn't want them. I told them, I'm like, look, I've seen you guys operate. You seem to be under the impression that if you buy a book from someone that they owe you something.
Oh, please.
And, I don't roll like that. If you buy my book, it's going to be without my knowledge or without my asking. And don't come to me later and say I owe you for shit, because I don't. I owe you a book. That's what I owe you.
Well, as you can see, they're not supporting my book. So
yeah. All right. So, but hey, what was that? Napalm Brothers. I mean, he did all right. But are you going to be launching this on Kickstarter later?
I will be.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay.
And everyone told me, a lot of the War Campaign and other people are like, oh, I would support you if you're on Indiegogo. I don't support Kickstarter. So I said, I'm going to launch this one on Indiegogo this time.
It's bullshit. They never come out. They always say that. They never come out. Right. Can you show us some interiors? So the cover artist is different than the interior artist, or are they the same?
Yeah, the interior artist is Rully Akbar.
Okay.
And there's no actual pages. This is the only page that actually shows the Thief in the Night. This is Southhawk, so he's going to be the guy who trains him and convinces him to be a superhero.
Okay.
And the backup story is done by, I forget his name, Brian Dawson. Okay. And he currently has a book out from Image called Mahoney's.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, he did a really cool job on the art. A little cartoony and full of action, so I was really happy with that.
So, and you wrote it?
I wrote it.
This is all right. How long have you been a writer?
Actually, I had these ideas and I never planned on doing a comic book. And the guy from Starcross saw my characters and said, "Oh, you should do a story." So I had a story that I had put together. Rob Liefeld was taking pitches for his characters, and I had you come up with this kind of pitch for his characters, and then it's been sitting in a drawer for years. So I just kind of put my own characters in it and used the same idea.
Okay.
It's been kicking around for quite a while.
So what is the conflict of issue 1?
Issue 1, they're actually going to the Vatican to rescue the Apostle John, who's been held captive there.
This sounds like a this sounds like a Christian comic book.
I mean, it is.
Okay. All right.
It definitely is rooted in Christian lore. So
I mean, and look, Christians will buy stuff just because it's Christian. I think you ought to market that element more heavily. All right. So the Apostle John has been alive for 2,000 years.
Yes.
Then?
There's actually a verse in the Bible where Jesus is walking with his disciples, and they're mad because he's spending more time with John. And Jesus says well, what if I have him live until I return? What is it to you? So there's just that one verse where, there is this possibility that John never died. So I took that and ran with it and had it where John's been alive and the Vatican captures him, and he's been held in the Catholic Church since the 30s.
Okay. Does he have miracle powers?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
He's going to have a sword.
What is John's impression of the Catholic Church?
Well, since they're holding him captive, I don't think it's very favorable.
So this book is definitely anti-Catholic then.
No, it's just a good setup to use.
All right.
I don't like the current Pope anyway. So
okay.
Yeah,
but it sounds like he's been there for quite a while.
Yeah, he has been.
So I mean, he was imprisoned by Pope Innocent II back during the Crusades or something.
No, he was imprisoned in, let's see, I think it's the 50s. I can't remember what I wrote right now. It's like the 40s or the 50s is when they capture him. So whoever was the Pope at that time, I don't know. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know.
And Steve Huffman. Gosh, I got to say hi to him. Let's see, we're also on Facebook. So this is a Facebook comment, and that was a guy that I trained judo with back when I was 15, and he's a big guy. He was like 6'6", and he wanted us to know from Facebook that everybody knows that Scotland is the biblical Israel. So
hello.
So all right, so issue 1, they got to rescue Apostle John from the Vatican. Or what happens? Does something bad happen if they don't get John?
No, but he's the key. He's the key to what they need. They need the apostle to fight Apollyon, who's the leader of the villains, who's also the soon-to-be Antichrist.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, sounds pretty good. You get 24 pages, $10. You get a POG set. How much is domestic shipping?
I think it's $3 or $4.
Okay, so $14 gets you a book, a PDF, and a POG set delivered in the United States.
Yes, sir.
That's a good deal. Okay.
We have some other things. We have stickers, trading cards. Each Kickstarter or each crowdfunding campaign, we do a set of trading cards. So we have our third set is with this, and you can also get set 1 and 2 as add-ons.
Okay.
And the Pogs, I don't know if anybody really wants any damn Pogs, but I just thought it was cool to have a retro kind of reward.
Huh. This is actually a true story. We discussed this as a student at Notre Dame. Okay. All right. So, Steve, at some point I'm going to have to bring you on, and you can tell me about that, because I had no idea that Scotland was the biblical Israel. That is interesting.
Well, that is interesting.
That is interesting. Huh. Yeah. Now, I think Steve played football for Notre Dame, if I'm recalling correctly. Let's see. Father Neil and Bob said they met all the apostles and 23 saints in the Vatican.
What did he say?
Oh, I think Steve is being silly.
Yeah.
I think Steve is definitely being silly. Silly Billy. All right. So let's see. Okay. Well, sounds good. Anything else you want to
I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah, just check out Star-Crossed Comics. We have like a bunch of like really good, high quality indie books. And it's at starcrosscomics.com.
Okay.
If you're looking for some good indie stuff, there's some great stuff there.
Awesome. All right. Well, I've been I've been editing. Did you see the last Twitter clip I dropped down where Roe was talking about running gay ops and like how he became a lord and all that crazy stuff?
Oh my gosh, no, I missed that one.
Okay. Oh yeah. It would
I don't even know
the
what
last
to say
time
anymore.
I saw Steve, I was like 17, so he hasn't seen me in a long time. So yeah, we're gonna sketch up with you, Steve. Yeah, but
you picked the perfect one to watch. By Tribulation Taskforce. Woo-hoo!
Exactly. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm going to get back to editing my video, but this is like the first time you've been on a live stream to promote your comic book and all that?
It is.
All right. Well, good
and
news.
I picked the perfect one to be on first time. Awesome.
Well, thank you.
I'm excited.
So, all right. So this video that I shared out will be here, and you can share it with all your friends. If because people do come back and ask me, they're like, "Hey, where can I get a copy of that interview I did with you?" I'm like, "It's right here on YouTube. It's not hard." But that is a question people have asked me before. Like, what do I do? It's right here. All you got to do is just share it to your friends, and there you are, being interviewed. And I will put a link in the description. Hold on, let me find it right now. I'll also put a link in the chat. So Tribulation Taskforce. And Tribulation Taskforce. I should have done this before. I'm a bad host. Tribulation Taskforce. There it is. Number 1. Fantastic. Copy and paste.
I really appreciate it.
No problem. There we go. All right, and I will also put a link in the description. So there you go. So the book is done, right?
It's done.
Okay. So there's not going to be any problems with completing the book.
No, actually, every campaign that we've done, the books is shipped out 30 to 60 days after the campaign has ended. Okay. So no 1 year waits.
All right, yeah, because that is a question I always ask, because okay.
Yeah, I know the frustration of waiting, and then getting a book in the mail and forgetting you even backed it. I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. And
thank you for having me.
I'm glad your campaign has already met its goal. I encourage everybody to check that out. There is a link in the description. And say goodbye to everybody. So
bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
This has been Preston Tolter with Pocket Jacks Comics. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. Take care.
Bye.